Hello friends, and welcome to jwreasoning.com. I wonder sometimes just how serious the organization is, talking about the governing body, those who take the lead in the organization. How serious are they about finishing the work, about accomplishing the preaching work that needs to be done? Because since March of 2020, there hasn't been any active door-to-door activity. There hasn't been anyone in the cart witnessing that I know of, unless it's in some remote area somewhere. It isn't happening here in the state where I live. Maybe it's happening where you are. But as far as I know, the word is no door-to-door work, no cart witnessing until further notice. We'll write letters and we'll get this out. But the reason I'm asking this question is because I personally believe that the work has to be done. We need to live our lives as if Jesus were coming today, but we plan our lives like we're going to live to be old in this world. That's advice that my dad gave me. I've shared it here before. I think it's great advice, and I live by that, and I hope you too live by that principle. Live your life according to the Word of God. And if something happens to you today, well, then we'll see you again in the resurrection. But I just wanted to do this video because something has come to my attention. I know there are many sincere Jehovah's Witnesses, and I would like to think in my mind that the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses is sincere. I would like to think that. The reason I'm talking about these things is I would like you to hear a snippet that the President of the United States used. And some of you have probably already heard this. This might be old news by the time you get it. But it just really struck me. And I'm going to play this about a 45-second video for you right now.
In today's briefing, we discussed how our administration is going to devote the remainder of the summer to a special focus on 5 ways to make gains in getting those of you who are unvaccinated vaccinated. Because here's the deal. We are continuing to wind down the mass vaccination sites that did so much in the spring to rapidly vaccinate those eager to get their first shot, and their second shot for that matter, if they needed a second. Now we need to go to community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood, and oftentimes door to door, literally knocking on doors, to get help to the remaining people protected from the virus.
One of the things that stands out to me is he talks about these sites where they got people together to give them the shot. And he was saying that that was starting to wind down, but he wants to get this done through the rest of the country. And this is where it's hard for me to do this without laughing, because I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing because of just the way my mind works. And what it is when he talks about going from community to community, from neighborhood to neighborhood, and from door to door, I just think of what more effective way could they use than to just get Jehovah's Witnesses, go to the governing body and say, you know, and it's true, you guys are masters of finding people, going to their homes. You may not find the people, but if you're coming with this, they might stay there, and you might be able to do this and preach to them at the same time. I mean, this is what came to my mind, but it would be such an effective way. If the organization is truly serious about getting the information out there, what more effective way would they have than by doing that? I mean, you have a captive audience. You're going to be there, you're rolling up their sleeve, roll up your sleeves with them and get down in the trenches, as I always call it, and just start preaching to them while you're jabbing them, and take their mind off of it and try to make it as painless as possible. So it's just something that stood out. And the reason that I'm talking about this, friends, is because I've made the comment in another video that if the organization is neutral, then just make the comment. It's a matter of conscience and leave it. But when they say that many of the Bethelites have, by their own choice, chosen to do this.
What is our view on vaccination? Jehovah's Witnesses are not against vaccination. We view it as a personal decision for each Christian to make. Already, in cooperation with public health officials, many in our Bethel families have chosen to be vaccinated.
That smacks of an endorsement. And so if they're endorsing it and they're behind it, I say, hey, brothers up there at the Watchtower Society, governing body, here's a message to you. If you're watching these videos and you really want to get that work done, what better way to do it than You call up the president and say, you know what? We'll take that message door to door, and we'll get every person there done. We'll take a nurse with us, and we'll make sure that we get every person done in our territory. And we'll do it in an orderly fashion because we keep the records, and we know how that goes. So if somebody knocks on your door and this is what you see, don't be surprised. Now, because I've mentioned this, the organization may not want to do it. But it wouldn't surprise me if it hasn't crossed their minds once they heard this announcement. And it's just one of those things, I'm not making light of any kind of sickness or illness. I'm not making light of whether you have chosen to or not to. Again, it matters not to me. I want what you think is best for you, you must do. What I think is best for me, I want to have the choice to be able to do that. And I know, and I've said this before, Jehovah doesn't take our choice from us. He always gives us a choice. And the choice is yours as to whether you want to serve him or not, as to whether you want to serve an organization or serve the Father and his Son. Remember, friends, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through him. I hope you keep studying. And again, I hope you take this video the right way, because really, if these friends are serious about getting out the gospel, if they really want to preach to everyone, what better way than doing this along with the government, because they've already teamed up with them, as I've shown in an earlier video. So please keep studying, and may Jehovah bless you until we meet again.